Could your life savings become worthless overnight? According to Jim Records, the prophet of financial doom, it's not just possible, it's imminent. Welcome to Financial Literacy. Here, we are dedicated and passionate about bringing you nothing but honest and straightforward facts about your money. We will help you take control of your finances and get you to the next level. Beginners or experienced, this is your one-stop shop for all things financial literacy. Jim Rickard's latest prediction isn't just alarming, it's downright panic-inducing. He is warning of an impending economic catastrophe that'll make the Great Recession look like a minor setback. This isn't a drill, folks. We're talking about a financial meltdown of epic proportions. The warning signs are flashing bright red all around us. Inflation is skyrocketing, eating away at your hard-earned money faster than you can earn it. The job market is collapsing, leaving millions in financial freefall. And prices? Don't even get me started about it. But they're reaching such absurd heights that basic necessities are becoming unaffordable luxuries. While the economic elite tries to lull you into a false sense of security, the reality is far more grim. We are on the brink of an economic disaster that could redefine poverty for an entire generation. The question isn't if it will happen, but are you ready when it does? It feels nostalgic, and everyone just has a sense of security when you think about the 90s, when life was simple and inflation was just a word. But that's not the case anymore, because Jim Rickards is about to burst that bubble of comfort with a sobering reality check. Let's unpack the Japan model. It's not a cool anime, but a concerning reality. Japan's economy has been stuck in neutral for 30 years, like that friend who can't get their business off the ground. And now the news is telling that they are going down. Their secret weapon? Printing endless yen. It sounds good in theory, but it's like slapping a band-aid on a gushing wound. Stuck in a cycle of slow growth, low confidence, and companies that just won't die. They're not moving forward. So why should you care? Because the US is following suit, and not in a good way. We're leaning on the dollar as our crutch, printing more money to stay afloat. But it's not helping us run faster. Just limping along. Printing more dollars doesn't solve our problems. It just postpones the inevitable crash. And here's the real kicker. This isn't just about numbers. Slow growth means fewer jobs, stagnant wages, and a general feeling of being stuck. Imagine running on a treadmill that goes nowhere. While everything from rent to groceries keeps getting more expensive, you're working harder, but not getting ahead. That's the future we face. Japan might be known for sushi, but it's also our economic crystal ball. And the picture it shows isn't rosy. Buckle up because things are about to get interesting. Or scary, depending on your outlook. Now, I want you to get ready for an economic reality check, because we are going to explore the wild, wild world of inflation. As much as we would like to think that we have a fairy tale economy, it's a hard-hitting look at what's driving prices through the roof. We're facing a double whammy of supply-side and demand-side inflation. Supply-side issues, like shipping delays and supply chain disruptions, are causing shortages and price hikes. Meanwhile, demand-side inflation kicks in when everyone's scrambling to buy more stuff, further pushing prices up. And guess what? We're dealing with both right now. To add fuel to the fire, we've got minimum wage increases in the mix. California's leading the charge, but it's a double-edged sword. Sure, your local fast food worker gets a raise, but you might need a small loan for your next burger. One unlucky customer reportedly shelled out $25 for a McDonald's meal. Talk about supersizing your bill. As businesses rush to cover higher wages, they're jacking up prices. It's a simple equation. Higher wages equal higher prices for consumers. Who would have thought? Now, let's talk about the Federal Reserve, our economic puppet masters. They're playing with interest rates like it's a high-stakes game of Jenga. Wall Street analysts have been predicting rate cuts forever, but their track record is about as reliable as a weather forecast from your pet cat. The Fed meets every 6 weeks, keeping everyone on their toes. But don't expect any pre-election rate cuts. Even these economic wizards know better than to mess with politics. When the Fed tweaks interest rates, it affects how we borrow and spend. Lower rates make borrowing cheap, tempting you to splurge on big purchases. Higher rates? Suddenly, borrowing feels like a risky gamble, and people start pinching pennies. Now, you might be thinking, so what? How does this actually impact my day-to-day life? Well, buckle up. because we're about to connect the dots between these seemingly abstract financial moves and the very real consequences they have on everything, from your job security to the price of your morning coffee. Now, it's time to pull back the curtain on government statistics, because those reassuring numbers you hear about unemployment and inflation, they're not telling you the whole story. The Consumer Price Index is another trickster. It throws a bunch of different prices together, from gas to that fancy avocado you just had to buy, and gives you one big number. But that number doesn't tell the whole story. Some things might be getting way more expensive, while others stay flat, making it seem like everything's stable when it's not. Wages are another thing to watch out for. Just because you get a raise doesn't mean you're actually better off. That raise might sound good at first, but if the cost of living keeps going up, it won't even buy you the same things it used to. It's like getting a raise and then finding out you can only spend it on shoes that burn your feet. So, the next time someone throws a statistic your way, be skeptical. There's always more to the story than what the numbers show. Remember, even fancy-sounding numbers can be misleading. And what can the middle-class people conclude in this situation? Well, it's not quite the apocalypse, but it's definitely not a walk in the park either. Remember that feeling of being rich with a $10 bill? Those days are gone. It's not just a few extra bucks for groceries. Your savings are taking a beating too. We are entering an era where even grabbing a Big Mac might make you think twice about your budget. But this isn't just about pricier fast food. It is about watching your savings account shrink like it's on a crash diet. Looking ahead, the forecast is stormy with a high chance of financial anxiety. Your 401k? It might start feeling more like 201k. Pensions are becoming as rare as unicorn sighting. And healthcare costs are skyrocketing faster than a SpaceX rocket. That suburban dream home you've been eyeing? You might need to add an extra bedroom for your side gig just to keep up with the mortgage. In simple terms, the middle class is strapping in for a wild economic ride. Think financial roller coaster with questionable safety features. It's time to reconsider those little splurges and start thinking seriously about weatherproofing your finances. And with all this, I hate to break it to you, but inflation is here to stay, and your savings are at risk. Everyday items are becoming luxuries, and even essentials like groceries are draining your wallet. While the rich may be insulated, the middle class will be squeezed. Stagnant wages, fewer jobs, and rising costs paint a grim picture. Jim Rickards likens this US economic situation to Japan's lengthy depression. Hear that? We're already in the slow growth phase, tiptoeing on the edge of economic catastrophe. This isn't the end of the world, but it's definitely time to buckle up and get financially prepared for the storm ahead. What are your thoughts about this? How would you prepare for what's about to come in the coming years? Comment them down below and let's help each other. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our following videos.